Welcome to the Farms.com Risk Management Daily Market Commentary from March 6, 2012. This is Mike Agostino, Managing Commodity Strategist. Well, today we're going to continue our series on Friday. We did some little research. We've looked at past rallies. We went back about 4 years to see whether we could find some patterns to give us a little bit of a glimpse to the future. Not trying to predict the future, but sometimes patterns do show up and it can help us do a better job of that. Tough game called marketing. So let's, on Friday we did the beans and canola simply because they've been the shining star so far in 2012. Corn and wheat, which we're going to talk about today, have been lackluster at best. But let's have a look at the past 4 years. We'll start off with corn. You can see corn has had an average of about 8 rallies through December in 08, 10 in 09, 10 in 10, and 7 in 11. The average has been about 8.75 times, the average length about 24.5 days, and the average change about 80 cents or so, about 17.7%. So going forward, look for those averages. Look for a rally between 80 to maybe $1 move, something like that, and then ask yourself whether you need to be selling into those rallies or not. We always like to sell on strikes, remember that. So here's the current December corn futures daily chart. How does this compare to the past 4 years? Well, like I said earlier, it's lackluster. Market's been really in a range-bound trading range. We've got a lot of potential acres going into the U.S. this year, and even in Ontario for that matter. It could be a record here, could be the biggest crop since 1944 in the U.S., and that's kind of putting a lid on prices. We're going to need to buy some more time. Market really not worried about 12 yet. Really no risk premium there due to weather or anything like that. So I think the range has been between that $5.50 and $6. So the speculator has been selling the upper end of that, $6, buying the lower end at $5.50. I think we could probably trade to a new range-bound market, 6 to 6.50, to move into the spring, but weather and total planted acres will dictate whether we can move that high. I think to go any further than that, to get up to that 7, we're going to have worries about demand, ending stocks, and potentially a weather rally through the summer months. Let's talk about wheat prices. We've got July of 08, we had 9 rallies, 9, July 10, 13, and July 11, 10 rallies. For wheat, we've had an average of 10.25 rallies per year. The average length was 20.25, and the average gain was 123 a bushel, or 18.25%. So remember that, 123 or about 18.25%. So the range has been in that $1 to $1.40 range. Let's say in that 15 to 20% percentage gain. Let's look at July Chicago wheat. We used the December contract for corn and the July contract, futures contract for wheat. Again, it's been a lackluster performance on wheat since about kind of the middle of last year. It's been in a tight range between the low 630 and the high about 7. I think we could probably trade up to that 750. We got as long as U.S. and global stocks continue to build, as long as we have a lot of global wheat supply, unless demand improves dramatically. There are some weather issues in the Ukraine, FSU, Black Sea region area, some of the Mediterranean areas, but kind of supporting the market to the low end. But I don't think we can probably explode back up to that 950 like we did last year, early part of last year. But so we're going to have to break that resistance at 7 for us to move higher. So bottom line, you can see the December corn daily futures chart again. I think we've got a clear bottom hit in 2008 at the 535, slowly trending higher, but kind of sideways move, which is always a tough market to trade. Really a lack of new fundamental news, nor clear direction or trend going forward. But I think we can, again, move into that 650 area if we buy a little bit more time. With Chicago, July, wheat futures, kind of a similar story. You can see the moving averages still still downtrending. Until that changes, until we can break above that $7 range, the bottom has already been hit at 613. I think that gets supported for the next few months. So no clear trend here. No rush to sell at this point. We'll give it a little bit more time. Okay, and by the way, yesterday we had a massive decline in both equities and commodities. Concerns about China, which is our first topic of other news, saying that the global their growth rate going forward for 12 is going to be 7.5%. We've been down this road before, where yesterday we're talking about hard landing again, but China seems to come through in the end, and we tend to trade higher thereafter. So I think this is overblown, overreaction regarding global growth and Chinese growth. They'll still be the global engine of growth. China denying any large ramp up in corn imports. Many experts have suggested that China will need to import more corn. Government's denying that for now. We'll see what happens. They tend to say one thing and do another. Same old China strategy. Texas weekly winter wheat conditions. Also conditions in Kansas, Oklahoma, again looking pretty good to date. They bucked the historical trend by leaving dormancy in better shape than they were in past years, because mild winters provide a little bit more soil moisture than normal. And we got the Food and Agriculture Policy Institute making some estimates on U.S. corn acreage at 93.5 versus USDA at 94.1. Beans come in at 75.1 versus USDA at 75 million. No new news there. Global wheat production declined 2% in 2002 as demand increases by about 0.3% according to Australia's commodity government forecasters. And then we got Reuters poll showing analysts expect downgrades to both South American crops, Argentina, Brazil, corn, soybeans. The low on the street again is now Oil World and Crop Scout Coordinator at 68 million metric tons. Don't think we're done going down. We had a bunch of downgrades today on South America. That is why soybean prices continue to move higher, and canola bouncing off the recent profit taking. And then finally, there's the chart on the Brazilian soybean production estimates. And that is it for today. Until next time, thanks for watching. Have a great day.